that's when you start putting up your card at the birthday dinners, because when everybody pays you, that's money that you're putting into that statement, into that current statement to pay it off entirely.
Yes.
To hold you down for another month. Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yep to My Yap. I'm still Erica Star, and today I'm here with
Irving, aka the East Coast Princess.
And today we're talking about money, the thing that no one likes to talk about and the thing that 20-something-year-olds are too scared to talk about.
Yes.
So just to give you some background, we're just going to give you some details about us to let you know who's telling you what about money and if you even want to listen to us. So how old are you and do you live alone?
So I am 25 and I have roommates. So I have 3 roommates and we live in a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-floor apartment. So I'm in the top floor with one of my roommates, and then in the first floor of our apartment, there's the 2 other roommates. So
giving very reality TV show house.
Yes, honestly, it really makes me feel like I'm on like Big Brother or like in the Bad Girls Club house. But we all get along, so it's no Bad Girls Club, but it does feel a little bit like Bad Girls Club.
Yeah. And I'm 25 and I live on my own. It's me and my dog, and yeah, not much else to say on that. So on a scale of I'm fine to my card might get declined, how financially stable do you feel today?
Baby, I feel fabulous. I will say, though, about 2 months ago, I was just feeling fine. But because I was able to consolidate a lot of my credit card debt onto 2 of my cards, and now I can pay that off over the course of a year, I have more like breathing room with like the money I make from like my checks now. So it's like, oh yeah, no, she's real cute. Real cute.
I'm in a weird spot, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm financially stable in the sense of like, I know that I will have the money to pay off whatever it is I got to pay off.
Right.
But I'm in that weird spot where it's like, you paid for a lot of things at this time period, and it's like, you know you can pay it off, but you know that you have to stop spending on a lot of other things. And that's the hard part. I think what's harder than anything when it comes to budgeting is not spending.
Yeah.
It's not so
having
much...
to be frugal.
Yeah. It's like, it's not so much what you're deciding to spend on. It's not about like, oh, get cheaper versions of this, cheaper versions of that. It's a lot, not easier, but it makes a lot more sense to just stop buying this shit you don't need. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Developing that discipline, and eventually that discipline just becomes a habit.
Yeah. And I'm someone with a lot of discipline, like with the gym, with work, everything.
Right.
But when it comes to spending, I never heard of her. Who's disciplined?
Like, no shade, but my thing is, girl, okay, I'm disciplined at work. I'm disciplined in the gym. Where can I not be disciplined?
Like sometimes,
right. Like sometimes, like, I want to be a little undisciplined. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then what does financial freedom mean to you personally?
So for me, I feel like financial freedom would be me one day opening my eyes and my skincare company is just booming with success. My mom isn't working, doesn't even have to worry about managing her house or anything. Like, she's just existing. All my immediate like friends and family that have been like with me for the long run, I want to make sure they're taken care of. Granted, I'm not going to have everybody on just like the payroll now. Hold on. You still got to work and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if you got like an unexpected expense or like, you know, whatever, it's like, girl, yeah, no, I got you, man. Like, how much you need? Like, no shade, there you go. I'll take that's for you. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just for me. I've always just wanted to have my own skincare company. So it's like, for me, I won't be financially free until I just have that business venture taken care of. Because it's like, I've wanted that since I was like 16.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need that. It needs to happen.
For me, financial freedom is more of like just not having to look at the bank apps on my phone. For me, that is like,
that's real
above
fab.
all, is because for me, I don't know. I check my bank account apps the way that I check social media.
Every day.
If the numbers are going to change, but they are changing in terms of like I'm spending. But like, I think that that's, you know, the biggest thing for me, because it's that constant anxiety every day. I think like financial freedom equals no anxiety for me. No financial anxiety whatsoever. There is no like, what if this expense comes up? It's like, okay, no, I can pay that. Like, it's fine. So that's that. Okay, so let's get into the money mindset.
Yes.
What's a belief on money that you grew up with that you had to unlearn?
So fortunately, I did have the privilege of having a mom who was very business mind mentality herself. So I didn't really have bad habits. I was taught to save in the the importance of saving from a young age. So it's one of those things where it's like I've always just learned or grew up learning how to be mindful with my money. Obviously, like when I was introduced to credit cards and I was getting approved for so many and like my credit limit was just going up and up and up, you know, I did have my golden era where I was just credit card happy, swiping, just didn't care about anything because it's like, baby, I got it. Like it's
Yeah.
fine. But I think I did circle back to my roots of saving and stuff like that. And I got that out of my system. That consumerist
Yeah.
era. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in that. I'm
Oh,
still all the
yeah.
way in that. For me, the one thing I feel like I've had to unlearn, which is weird because this is the thing that a lot of people say that they have to learn now, but I don't know. I feel like I took this thing a little too far. Like anytime I had the scarcity mindset and I talked to my mom, she was like, the money will come back. The money will come back. The money will come
Yeah.
back. And she's always taught me that. And I don't want to unlearn it entirely, but it's more of like, I need to stop leaning on that mindset because there's a lot of money that gotta come back to me at this point. And I'm
Yeah,
just kind of
no.
like, all right, it'll come back, but when? Like when is this big break gonna happen? Because I did get lucky for like, I wanna say a solid 4 years straight where my expenses and my video gigs always lined up. Like anytime I had something big come up, somebody hired me for a wedding or somebody hired me for, you know, whatever event that they had. And I think that I went through like a really, I don't want to even call it a lucky streak. I don't know. I believe in the universe and all that. I just think everything was meant to be the way that it was.
Yeah.
So if anything, you know, I feel like maybe like right now, the universe is like, all right, we're going to show you what it's like without that. So what are you going to do about it? So that's kind of how I'm taking that. So what's the biggest mindset shift that people in their 20s need to make about money?
Literally, it was that same mindset that you just brought up, where it's like, okay, if I spend the money, I'm gonna make it back. But it's like, yeah, babe, you are gonna make it back, but think about like the 20s is like our era of like foundation building. Like this decade of our life is probably gonna be the cheapest one. Cause as
Yeah.
we get older, it's just gonna get more and more expensive. Like, you know, I have the luxury of not having to worry about ever getting pregnant. But for those that can, like,
Yeah.
you know, families are expensive to have, babies, insurance, like, you know what I mean? So like this is our one, and I guess that's why people think like, you know, yeah, during your 20s you have to live it up because after your 20s it's like, you know, adulting actually starts happening and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But it would just be that, like, yes, you are gonna make the money back. It will come back to you, but like, just with some expenses, I know some are mandatory or some are necessary. Like, you know, if you're going to a birthday party, you're gonna get someone a gift, or like, if you have to go out for a birthday dinner, like stuff like that, you
Yeah.
need to spend money on that because it's like you're not just not gonna participate in those moments. But you know, there's other expenses that we make that are frivolous, where it's like you could have put that into your savings, or you could have put that to buy a fraction of a share in a stock. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those little building blocks that we could set for ourselves. But I would definitely say it's that I'll just make that money back mentality. And
Yeah.
granted, I too had that make that money back mentality. And once I kind of one day woke up and I looked around and I saw that I was just in a hole. And I was like, oh my God, that's the top of the hole. Like, I'm not going to be able to make it up there. And
Yeah.
it was like, all right, enough. Like, enough. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done doing this. I can't do it. Like, no, I have to be frugal. I have to be mindful. I started doing my budget. Like, literally, if you go to my notes app, it's just, I budget every month my payments towards all my cards or any other expenses. Like, literally, if I don't do that, it's like, girl, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
I
surprised
just need that.
I've made it this far without ever needing to like make out a sheet of my budget and stuff. It's more of like any money I make just goes to paying stuff off. That's
Yeah.
literally, that's how it's been. And I think that I finally got to a point, like I said, because right now it's more about don't spend on X, Y, and Z. But you brought something up that like, I'm a little, I don't want to say opposed to, but a little conflicted on about like the birthday dinners and stuff like that, where it's
Ooh,
like,
okay.
it's kind of mandatory because so much of like your money in your 20s and everything has to do with your social life. Like it's inevitable.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, there are certain boundaries that I think that can be set on a yearly basis. Like I think it's perfectly okay one year to be like, I'm not getting anybody birthday gifts.
Okay.
And I'm not, you know, doing any birthday outing that crosses, you know, such and such number. Cause I don't know. I think that that's especially when you have a lot of friends and, or even when you're just a likable person, cause people invite you to birthday things. So you're like, oh shit, like you fuck with me like that. And then, you know, you feel bad if you don't go. Cause it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like you invited me, you wanted me there, whatever. Like I'm big on birthdays. That's a whole other thing. But at the same time, I think like, you know, everyone's finances are, you know, your own finances are a lot more important than your friend's birthday. And I think that for stuff like that, I don't know, I think it's okay to be like, hey, like, I'm not gonna do this year. I'm not expecting a gift either. Totally okay if you don't come to my birthday if you're feeling away. Like, it's fine. But I don't know, what's your take on that?
Okay, so I feel like when it comes to birthday outings, I don't go to many just because for me, the only birthdays I really feel the need that I actually have to mandatorily go to would be anyone that's in like, we call our friend group like a house, kind of named after like the ballroom scene. So
Yeah.
we're like a little house. So for me, like, you know, any of those friends, if they were to have a birthday outing, I gotta go. Cause it's like, those are my peoples. Like,
Yeah.
those are my sisters.
Yeah.
We're all bearded, by the way. But those are my sisters. But anyone else after that, I mean, if you're like a coworker, sometimes we'll do outings. But the good thing about a lot of the outings or birthday plans that I go to, thankfully my friends aren't like in this like heavy spending, delusional state.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're fine with just going somewhere where it's gonna be like 50 or 60 bucks a person. And that's like, okay, that's doable. Yeah, I would say that. I've lucked out. A lot of the times when I go to birthday places or just birthday dinners or outings or anything, the budget's never been like a crazy high thing. But I think it's because a lot of the times other people are already thinking about those same things before I even have to bring it up.
Yeah.
So once the plans are given to me, it's already at a reasonable budget or price where it's like, okay, I mean, that's fine. But I will say a lot of times when it comes to birthday outings, that's somewhere where it's like, whatever the price is, I don't care. Like, let's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's when it comes to the people that are in our house.
Yeah.
Like my besties, I don't care.
Yeah, because I usually have the mindset of like, you know, it's fine. You know, for as long as it's your birthday, I'll be down for whatever. But the thing is, like, in the background, I have in my head the prices of 2 Ubers going to the spot and coming back. And that alone already adds sometimes a decent amount. Like if we're going into the city, and it's mainly because of like, because I don't want anybody on here to be like, girl, take the train, it's too, you know, whatever. But when it's dark outside and the train that you rely on is not a reliable train, you do not want to be stuck at a train station at 3 a.m. So
That's facts.
you know, so it's like, I would rather pay the $80 Uber from Midtown, you know, to Brooklyn before, you know, I'm stuck on that platform. So it's like, it's stuff like that. And it sucks because that's not something like, that's not the birthday person's fault. So it's like a lot of times you just kind of eat it and you're like, okay, I'll figure it out. And I don't know. I feel like, and it's not, I haven't done this yet. I haven't told anyone I'm not going to do anything because of money stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't like putting the negativity out there. I feel like I'm approaching it, but I don't want to approach it. And this is coming from somebody who, I'm having a birthday trip to St. Lucia in March.
Oh, girl.
So I already know.
Right. Because all of a sudden, you can't get nobody a gift. You can't go out to dinner. You can't break bread and clink glasses with nobody. But hold
Exactly.
on. She's going to St. Lucia, y'all. Hold on.
So like, I see the hypocrisy.
Yes.
So with that said, anyone who does show up, you got me. I'm there for you. You know, like anyone who's coming on that trip, I'm going for your birthday, whatever you want to do, I'm all in. Anyone who doesn't go, those are the people who I'll be like, listen, you know, I'm just saying, because they give me the same excuse, it was money stuff. And it's like, I'm never going to hold that against you. So I'm like, hear me out kind of situation.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. Money and socialize, I didn't realize how intertwined those things can be. Because I went through a period, you know, that's probably why this is all happening. Because I went through a big chunk of my life without many friends. And my finances were chilling. I was like, I'll get whatever I want. Like, and even when I splurged on myself, I was still good. And I think it's like once the friends came into play and it was like, okay, like now I'm in a friend group and we all get gifts for each other. And that's just kind of like was a known thing. And I'm like, okay, like there wasn't even like time to like be friends with them for a period of time and then grow to become gift-giving friends. Like you enter the friend group, this is what we do. And I'm like, I like the community of that though. Like I'm a fan of it. It's one of those things where, and I've talked about this before, like, you know, don't expect a village if you can't be a villager kind of thing. So I don't know. It's one of those things I'm always like conflicted in my head. Like I have no real solid stance because no matter what, I'm going to bend for whoever I want to bend for.
Yeah.
But
no, that's fair.
yeah.
Thankfully, my friend group, we don't have that habit of giving each other DK gifts because, ooh, you would have lost me there, girl. DK, oh, I got to get you a gift? Oh, sure. Here's $50 in an envelope. I'm a cash gift giving girl because when it comes to me and receiving gifts, like, just give me cash. I already got plans for that money. I'm going to flip it, invest it. I'm going to do something with it, pay a bill, anything. Thankfully, our friends, we're not really like that. We don't get each other gifts, but we do, like, if someone's birthday is coming up, we're going to be like, what are we doing for their birthday?
Yeah.
Whether it's dinner, the club, you know, anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was one year we went to Miami and it fell on around the same time that it was one of our birthdays, and we had got them a cake out there, and we celebrated their birthday at the Airbnb we were staying at. And like, you know, like that's cute memories. And I still have the video of us waking him up when he was napping because we were at the club and we woke him up with a cake and sung happy birthday to him. Like it's, you know, it's cute little things like that.
Yeah.
And when you're thinking of those kinds of memories, that's when it's like, okay, who cares about the money? I'll get it back.
And a lot of times the experience is the gift.
Yes.
Because that's another thing. Like I don't expect anybody coming on my trip to give me a gift. I'm like, your presence is a gift. Like I understand the time that you sacrifice, the money you sacrifice, and like I get it. So I think that's another thing too. I realize like with my friends who like we don't have to say anything, but we understand what's going on. I realize like we go out for a birthday dinner and then they just pay for my half instead, or I pay for theirs, and it's like, okay, cool, that was the birthday thing, we're good.
That's what we do.
And I prefer that, honestly. I would just be like, okay, like because it's like I'd rather have an exciting life than a thing. So it's like, if I have a bunch of friends who all want to separately take me out for my birthday, like, yo, that's a whole lot of dinners. Like, this is a fun time. Reasons to get ready. Reasons, you know, times that you could just talk shit and laugh and stuff. Like, it's the togetherness that's a lot more important. Because it's like, I don't like clutter. So, like, please stop getting me things. Like, unless you know I'm going to use it, I don't need any more things. Unless I ask for it. But, yeah.
Just get me cash, girl. I already made plans for it and I ain't even got it in my hand yet. Like, girl, just give me the cash.
Okay, so what is the difference between being frugal and being cheap?
All right, so boom. Because when I first thought of this, I really had to sit and think, okay, what is being frugal? What is being cheap? Frugal for me is being mindful about your everyday purchases and expenses so that you can afford to buy the things that are pricier but are worth it. So like for me, right? I'm the kind of girl where I really like electronics, or like that's just always been my thing. But it's always because as a child, I've always taken very good care of my electronics. I still have my Game Boy from when I was 4, my DS, my PSP. I have all that. So I'm the kind of girl where it's like, all right, if I want a console or something and it's like $500, yeah, I'm gonna get that. Like the PS5, that was like 500 something. I say, yeah, I'm gonna need that. But if I'm gonna get that, that means I might not be able to take 2 Ubers a day, 1 and 2 from work. It might mean I got to take an Uber in the morning and they get on my way back after the gym, they could take the bus or take a Via or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'll compensate for those big expenses by cutting from other more frivolous expenses where it's like there's cheaper alternatives. It's more so I'm just missing out on the convenience.
Yeah.
Which I guess depending on the time of the year is worth it. Because like during the summer, sure, I don't mind walking instead of taking an Uber.
Yeah.
But like, girl, in this weather?
Yeah, it's cold outside. It's real cold outside.
It's cold.
Yeah, and I also think another thing too with like being frugal, I think there's like, I feel like there's kind of like a 50-50 split with people who like legit live paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
And those who say, nah, that's expensive, I don't have the money, but their savings are loaded. But it's because you don't touch your savings.
Yes.
And I think that, and that's the side that I'm on, where it's just kind of like, there is a safety net. There's always a safety net.
Yes.
I'm never in like panic mode. I'm never in emergency mode. But I know that if I have to dip into that, that's my emergency mode. That for me, that's when it's like, all right, what we doing? What do we got to dial back on? Because I'm not trying to go in there. Especially like, because then you have your savings and then you have your investments. And then it's like, if you got to dip into your investments, you're fucked. Like that's, and I know we're supposed to talk about this later in the podcast, but like, this is just something, it's like fresh in my mind right now and I don't want to like forget it.
Yes.
But because I recently just started investing this year.
Okay.
And that transition where it's like, because I don't want to give too much about like my expenses or like my money situation and stuff, but it's like, I had a lot of money sitting in my savings for years. And I was like, and it did nothing. It just sat there and it was for a really long time. It was a big amount that was never touched.
Wow.
And then one of my friends put me on to what's it called, to investing and all that, and he put me on to the
Robinhood.
No, Vanguard, the VOO.
Oh,
I forget
okay.
what the full name of
That
that.
stock?
It's a mutual fund.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was because he took like a gap year off of life because he's older. He's 10 years older than me, and he wasn't working for a while. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, oh yeah, like I'm just taking a break. I'm traveling. I'm doing all these things. He's subletting his apartment. I was like, you sell drugs? Like, what do you do?
Right.
And he was like, no. And he put me onto this because he grew up in Seattle. And he's like, listen, there's like a bunch of rich white businessmen over there. They put us onto it when we were kids. And they were like, as soon as you get a bank account, like you start this and the money's going to start, you know, just piling on itself for as long as you put in like a little bit every month, even if it's just like chum change here and there. So he told me about it. And already from that, I was like, first off, I was like shocked because my mom's really good with her finances and she never told me about this. And she has all her investments and stuff, but she never felt the need to tell me because she thought I wouldn't be able to let that amount of money just sit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, it's been sitting in my bank account doing nothing. So that was like a big moment for me. But I went through that transition phase where I just took all the money from my savings and put it into my investments because I knew I was solid with like all my other expenses, like in my checking account and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm in that weird phase where I'm like, I'm letting the investment money grow, but I don't have anything in the savings.
Yes.
And I'm trying to grow the savings, but then there's that thing in your head every time you put money in your savings where you're like, but you could put that in your investments. Why aren't you doing that? And it's like, but you want the money to be easily like, you know.
Liquid.
Yeah. So I'm in that weird in between, which is why I'm like stressed, but I shouldn't be that stressed because not gonna lie, from May to now, I've been able to, and this is another part that sucks too. It's like, at least for when I was going through something in the summer, I was like, why am I spending so much? And the light bill, that was a whole other thing. We'll get to that in a bit. But I'm doing the Cynthia Erivo shit. Where I have this mindset where it's like, for as long as the amount of money I initially put into my investments is always there, I could take out anything more than that. And that's where I'm at right now, only because I'm in that in between. And I've been able to take out like $3,000, and that's just extra money that I wouldn't have made if that same amount of money was sitting in my savings. And I'm like, that was the moment where I was like, hold the fuck on.
Yes.
Like, free money.
Yes.
I didn't do anything for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the gears are starting to turn.
Oh, yes.
Because now you're like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have made this much in interest from a savings account or even from a certificate of deposit.
Yeah, I tried the certificate because I heard good things about it. I forgot. I was like in middle school or something, and they were like, oh, that's so great, blah, blah, blah. I made like $5 off of that over a span of 2 years. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and that same amount of money is what got me the $3,000 because it was the same thing, and that's what got me the $3,000 in less than a year with investments. So I'm like,
that's fab, ma. You ate with that one. You ate with that one.
I did. So I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit. What would you say is? Let me just check the card so I'm not stumbling over my words. I have so many cards. Give me a second.
So much content to film.
Yeah, seriously. What the fuck? Give me a second, guys.
That vibrato was cute.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna freeball this one. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Did you want to finish the what is cheap?
Oh, wait.
Yes. I was going to say, because I got an example for what is cheap.
It's just all this so exciting to talk about.
Yes.
Okay, go.
You got me for hours, ma. Literally, y'all got me for hours. The princess is here to entertain. So
and teach.
My thing, yes, and teach, and teach. So my whole thing is, right? Cheap is when you're starting to come at the expenses of others. Girl, if we go out, let it be a dinner, a lunch, lo que sea. If you see everyone at the table is just gonna get them an entree and maybe 2 margaritas, don't be that girl that you get there and you want appetizer, entree, dessert, not 2, 3 margaritas. Mm-hmm. And when the check comes, now it's, so we splitting this, y'all? Mm-hmm. Baby, hold on. You got an appetizer that I didn't get. Mm-hmm. the rest of the table ain't got. So you got a couple of other things where it's like, hold on, you can't just split this evenly when you know that there's a weighted average going on. We all have the same weight, but yours is a little bit higher than ours. So thankfully, me and my friends, we don't go through this because I usually like to be the one to pay with my credit card just because then I'll get 4% cash back. And then I just like that because also they could just all send me whatever it is that they spent accordingly. Yeah, I feel like if you're one of those girls where you want to order half the menu when the rest of your girlfriends are not doing that and then you want to split it evenly, girl, you're cheap. Speaking of, if we're going out and it's time to tip, all right, so boom. Sometimes, depending on how many people is there, they already include a gratuity. Depending on how that gratuity is, if that goes to the whole staff and everybody and you want to add another tip for just the server themselves, listen, I get it. Times are tough. But I like to at least do the minimum. Like, they give you three options, 15, 18, 20%. Listen, I try to aim for at least the minimum. Yeah. Because, like, you know, they work off of tips. So that's not the right moment to be cheap. If we were able to go out and eat and we knew that we were going to have to pay a tip and whatever that percentage was, and we didn't have it for the tip, then we should have just been mindful about what we ordered in the first place or where we went to. Because now it's like, because you want to all of a sudden be on a budget with the tip, but not with the rest of the dinner, now their livelihood or whatever they made from that meal is affected. And it's like, girl, you don't got to give all that.
Because then it shows your character.
It does show your character. That also goes for, if you're going to order Uber Eats, I get it sometimes. You know, their percentages be a little crazy, but like I know some girls that'll be like, oh yeah, no, I tipped them $2 or I tipped them $1. Or sometimes they'll tip and once they get the food, they'll change the tip and remove it.
That's different.
Shady.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's so
shady.
Fucked.
Because what you can do is you can tip them ahead of time, right? But if the service was better or like they did something that was outstanding, you can change the tip amount.
Yeah. And they just put less instead.
Sometimes I've heard people tell me if they do that, I don't know if that's legit or not, just because I've never been that trifling. But you know, it's like, girl, you hear stories like that. And I think that makes
sense though, because Instacart, they tell you, they'll be like, oh, put a tip and you'll get a courier faster. So I think that might be another reason why they do it. That the person just will treat their food better because of the tip.
For
that's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah, no. And it's like when you're doing shit like that, it's like, girl.
And especially when it's cold outside, that's a whole different thing. When it's cold, when it's raining, when it's snowing.
Yes. If it's cold or raining or snowing, automatically. Or
insanely hot and you know they came on a bike.
Yes.
Like that's when
automatically
it's like,
your tip might already be like $5.
Yeah.
$4 or $5. Sometimes though, the food spot is nearby, but depending on what the other circumstances are, I might give you more. But at the very least, the minimum percentage. Yeah. If you really don't got it, just at least do the minimum. Because it's like, girl, now you're being a little cheap.
But another thing to what you said before, how you said, you know, the person who, you know, orders all the stuff and wants a weighted average. There are other people who think that it's cheap to do the opposite, to be like, oh, I'm only going to pay for what I got. And I don't know. I don't know when that shift happened because I grew up thinking that was like tacky if you only pay for what you got. And then I got older and realized how selfish other people could be. And I was like, nah, I'm just being responsible for only paying for what I got. Because like there was one time I went out and I didn't drink anything and everyone only got drinks.
Right.
I got chicken tenders and fries. And so then I got chicken tenders and fries and a Coke. And then I hear later everyone's like, oh, send I think like $55 to whoever, you know, whoever's card the thing was on. And there was a lot of us and I was like, I got chicken tenders and fries and a Coke on purpose. I was like, that is about $20. I was like, because some people, that's another thing. There are people who are like, oh, it's just a $40 difference.
Girl,
what?
No.
Those are 2 other meals. Those are 2 other lunches. Those are Ubers. Those are a Wi-Fi bill. Like, it's a lot of things. So, I don't know. I just think that that's a conversation you got to have with your friends. Like, not frequently, but like, because it's tacky to keep letting people know what your financial situation is.
Yes.
But it's very, it just, what's the word? You just avoid a mess when you talk about the way that you want to deal with finances when it concerns the whole group. Like, even if in the group chat, it's just a quick like, all right, so we're going to split the meal when we go out for such and such dinner. All right, that's fine. Everybody's aware. That's it. I just think that really awkward, like the bill comes and it's like, whose card are we putting this on? And how do we send it to you? Or somebody being like, oh, like, can I send it tomorrow? It's like, I'm paying for this right now.
Right.
Why didn't you have it today? You came here today. But...
Let's talk about it, because it's no shade. You knew we was coming, and you decided to ask me until after I pay the bill, okay, is is it cool if I pay you on Tuesday? Oh, is it cool if I pay you next Wednesday? No, girl. So you really came outside knowing that you ain't had it for a meal, waited for someone to pay for the meal to then be like, I don't got it. Can I pay you another day? No, girl. Now,
And it's
hold
very
on.
different because I feel like this conversation will have a lot of people like coming at us. It's very different though when you ask someone a week before, hey, can you spot me for that dinner?
Yes.
You know, because I don't have it like that. I got you when I got you. For as long as there's that trust between you guys, it's fine.
Yes.
It's the sneakiness of waiting for it to be paid for and
Yes.
the other person not knowing that they might have to account for your dinner.
Yes.
Just putting that out there.
That, and also, you know, for certain people, we are going to fold. Like, if you're one of my good girlfriends, yeah, ma, I got you. If you got to pay me a week or two from now, girl, do it. I don't care because you're my good girlfriend. But if, like, let's say I'm going out with, like, acquaintances or, like, I'm someone else's plus one and now I'm with people I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, girl. Nah.
Yep. And then it's weird because it's like you don't have much of a say because you don't know the people.
Right.
And it's just like, so.
And then it's real weird with me because I don't know these people, but I could also disrespect them as if I did know them. So it's like, girl, now I gotta be now I gotta really show that side of me.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh no, she's not very pleasant.
And it gets real messy real fast.
Yes. So I think it's great to have those conversations of like what expectations are when it comes to splitting the bills or just where you're at financially and like what the budget is giving, what the budget is not giving, because no shade, like
Yeah, everybody
those are
got it
tough
different.
conversations to have, but girl, you'd rather just have them early than to be gagging at the dinner table.
Yeah, because then you're going to be uncomfy in so many different situations. And it's like,
And then the
for
night
what?
might be ruined. Because it could be something as simple as that happened at dinner. And now then when we go to the club after, oh, I'm not feeling it.
Yep.
No, now I'm not feeling it. I need
Yep.
to go home. I'm tired. Now all of a sudden I'm mean mugging. Everybody's like, you okay, Ma? You fine? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not feeling it. Because it's like, yeah, no. Just have those conversations. No shade.
Okay, so what do you typically spend on home essentials, clothes, takeout, utilities, subscriptions, all that kind of stuff? Like, what does that look like on a monthly basis?
All right. So let me break it down for you, right? In the morning, I take my Uber to work. I gotta take an Uber because no shade, I'm not a morning person. So it's like I'm already gonna get to work late. I gotta take that Uber to make sure that it's not too late. You know, like within an appropriate time frame of what is late acceptability when you're a commuter. Because like when you're a commuter, they give you like that grace where it's like, oh yeah, no, he's a commuter.
Like 15 minutes-ish.
Yeah, he's a commuter. Yeah, 25 minutes. Like, yeah, he's like a commuter or whatever. But for me, I gotta have that Uber in the morning. But that means that the way I'm getting home is not gonna be an Uber. It'll be a bus or like whatever the case may be, or like the PATH train, whatever. Before I even step into work, my Uber dropped me off at the Acme, right across the street from where I work at. I go in there, I get me some bagels. It's only $1 each, girl. It's $1 each, fresh, made fresh every morning. I don't know, the one I go to, they make them fresh every morning. I say good morning to the baker every day. Because what? I get me those bagels. That's $1 each. Love that. then I get me a Monster. Honey, I'm going to need me a Monster.
A Monster?
Yes, I need me a Monster. No shade. I need me a Monster. So personally, every girl's got their favorite flavor. My personal favorite flavor is the Loco Mango one or the Mango Loco, whatever. Baby, she's fab. She has mango juice concentrate. She's fab. And then it's an energy drink too. If not, if I got to watch my sugar and like my calories, because I'm on a cut right now. I'm on a weight loss journey. No shade. I'm going to get me the guava one. Only 10 calories and she tastes fab. But yeah, honestly, I'll get my bagels, I'll get my Monster, and that'll be like what? Oh, sometimes I'll get like fruit. I'll get like apples and stuff. So like that'll be like what, $10? So already that's like what, $25 that I'm spending per morning on average.
How much is the Uber?
The Uber can range. It'll be like, it could range from like 12 to 20, depending on the kind of day. So I usually average it to like maybe 15 on average. But like, girl, sometimes like today, right, it was over $20. And that already has my day fucked up. Because why I had to pay more than $20 for a Uber when it's like such a short ride and I've been here before for $12. Why today now is $27.83? And I don't, girl.
That's 2 days of work.
Yes, my girl, this morning to get to work, it was going to be $37. And I said, I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to sit in my chair.
You know what's
and
crazy?
wait for that price to go down.
I tried to order lunch today. $10 delivery fee because of the snow.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
I was
starve.
like, huh?
I'll starve.
So I waited it out. I let the snow melt a little bit. I let the snow stop falling from the sky.
Right.
$2 delivery fee. I said, okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Thank you.
I did that. I waited. I sat pretty in my room just like this. And I just waited, and it went down to like $24, and I was like, "That's acceptable," but I'm not happy, Uber. But like, it was better than 37.
Yeah.
But lunch, I usually try to keep it like under $10. I usually get something in the area from the plaza, like maybe Popeyes or like something cute under 10. And then dinner, usually my budget is like $15. Honestly, you know what it is though? I'm such a guy in this regard where it's like I can eat like the same shit every day and I don't care. Like breakfast, it's
don't know how
usually
y'all do that.
bagels and a Monster.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Since I'm calorie counting because I'm on a cut, it's just easier for me when
Yeah.
I already know breakfast is gonna be this much calories. That means lunch is gonna be this many calories and dinner is gonna be this many calories. So it's like not only eating the same thing kind of every day helps me just keep up with like calorie counting, but also like my budget too. Because
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same price every day. So I already know like what those expenses are. So in terms of like takeout, I've done a lot better with decreasing those expenses. Cause when I had first moved out of my mom's and I was at where I'm at now, I was getting Uber Eats every single day. I didn't care how much it was because baby, I got credit. Who cares? Girl, who cares? Oh, it's $30. That's fine. I got it. But yeah, you just can't do that every day.
Yeah.
Utilities, thankfully we split it. We split it across 4 people. So like that keeps things low. Subscriptions, I don't have too many.
Oh,
I got
okay.
Amazon Prime. So I get Prime delivery and then I get like, you know, the Prime Video, whatever, which is cute because they got Charmed and I love to watch Charmed. And then I got Zeus. I need to have Zeus.
Oh
no
my
shade.
God.
Patties. But we outside.
Oh my God.
I live for Zeus. No shade, Ma. You like Zeus?
I've never been on Zeus. I just know what's on it,
Ma,
but I
you
don't
gotta-
watch anything on Zeus.
Oh, really? So, Dike, if I got on Zeus one day, Dike, you would get a subscription to Dike watch me.
Well, yeah.
Right. No shade. Of course, I live. Yeah, honestly, those are the 2 things I got. I got Zeus. I got Prime. I got Apple Music. But that's because when I first got Apple Music, they gave me the student discount, and then I aged out, and I just got used to having it.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
It
They
is.
get you with that
No.
student discount, and then once you get too old, but you have years and years of stuff on there, it's like, well, girl, I gotta just stay here.
Yeah.
This is home. So I got Apple Music. That's how YouTube Premium got me because I had the student price, and now I'm paying like $15 a month for that. But it's like, girl, I'm just so used to it. Where it's like, girl, it's fine. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
But I would say that's about it. I try
Okay.
to really be a frugal kind of girl.
Yeah.
I'll have my
'cause-
moments and my weekends where like things are expensive, and then I'll adjust accordingly for the following weekends or weeks after.
Yeah.
In terms of like how my budget is gonna look, but yeah, no,
See, your day to day, it doesn't sound nearly as expensive as
it's
mine.
not. I've managed to try to
That
keep it
sounds
as low
so
as
great.
possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've really managed. And granted, it's not always the most, fun thing. Like, every day my coworkers are always eating out lunch, whether it's like, let's get Chipotle or Chick-fil-A or this
Yeah.
or that. I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like, okay, if I want to get lunch, sometimes if I didn't have one of my bagels in the morning, I'll have that for lunch and then I'll go and get like fruit. Because I'm on a cut anyway. So it's like, I shouldn't be getting fast food anyway. So like, that helps. But like, yeah, it's just a lot of the same thing that I'm just eating every day.
Damn.
But thankfully it's affordable. So it's like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah. See,
And I'm slimming out, no shade. Like, what? I'm slimming out.
so for my expenses, it's so bad. I feel like I cannot spend a day in New York City without spending minimum $30. And that's even like, it's like on literally anything. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do a play-by-play of a day where I do all of my worst habits on the same day.
Okay.
So it's like, wake up and I look in my kitchen. Let's say this is a day that I don't have a lot of like my groceries. So I go on Instacart and I get, all my meats and all my seasonings, whatever it is I don't have. But, you're on the app and it's like, if you could get Chips Ahoy cookies for $6 more, you're just gonna throw it in the cart, because it's that easy. And then you see snacks, because as soon as you hit checkout, it tells you, but would you like this? Because you ordered this last time and you didn't order it this time. And I'm like, you know what? I think I do. And and then you order that. So waiting for the food to come, I need some kind of lunch because Instacart, because I'm not going to pay the extra $3 for it to get to me in the next hour. I'll wait the extra few, but in that time, I need to eat lunch. So what am I going to do?
Right.
I'm going to order Uber Eats. And I go on Uber Eats and let's say, I want to one of the most expensive things I get, I think, might be like the tacos that I get regularly from the taco truck, and that comes out to about like $34.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
girl, how many tacos?
It's 4 tacos and the stew, because it's only birria tacos. It's crack. So
You said it's how much? $34?
yeah, but that's with the delivery fees. I have an Uber One subscription.
Oh, me too. Oh, wait. I got an Uber One. I got that subscription too. Yes.
And sometimes, depending on the time, the place, whatever, some places have no delivery fee and some places do. So let's say this is the day they got the delivery fee and the taxes. And then there's the New York State thing. It's so much. That'll be like $34. And then the Instacart comes, cool, put it away. I'm working because I work remote, blah, 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 type. And then I'm looking at my room and I'm like, I'm missing something. Let me go on Amazon and buy something really quick. Whether that be a shelf or something, some kind of trinket or whatever. And then, the food comes, my lunch comes, I eat that, cool. And then, where are we now? Okay, it's post-lunch. So then work ends and now I need dinner. So I'll cook dinner because when I buy whatever on Instacart, I'm very much like, now that'd be really fucking useless if I ordered this food and didn't cook today. Like for me, that logic is just like all the meat's defrosted because it just came in. Like you have to cook something today. So for that I'll cook. I leave to the gym, but when I leave, I'm walking, realize I forgot my water bottle. I buy the small Essentia from the gym that's $4.72.
Girl.
When the biggest bottle is like the same price. But because of the convenience and because the gym is, the fridge is in the gym, it's right there. You just scan your little gym code thing. I'm like, okay, cool, get the water. And then I leave and I'm like, I'm hungry again because I don't eat enough. So I need to eat 3 times a day and I only eat like a solid 2.
Oh, okay.
So I get hungry again, and I'm just like, for more often than not, when I get that third hunger, I'll make a tuna fish sandwich. That's always like my backup. It's always a tuna fish sandwich or tuna fish with crackers, something with tuna fish. So we're good there.
Careful the mercury, girl.
I eat so much tuna fish that I don't know.
You're immune to it, girl.
That's what I think.
Right.
Because I started this when I was like a kid. Like my mom introduced me to tuna fish sandwiches. I want to say I was like 6 years old. I'm an absolute fiend. Like that is something that is the cheapest meal that will just satisfy me to like the umpteenth degree. It's just so good with onions sometimes when I'm feeling that way.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Okay, so and then I get home. Like I said, I had ordered the thing on Amazon, and then I'm watching something on Netflix. That's one subscription.
Yes.
And then I work on the podcast while listening to mixes on YouTube. And at some point I did have YouTube Premium, but I didn't pay for it. My dad did, but let's act like I did for the sake of this story.
Right.
So YouTube Premium, listening to music. And then what other stuff? I also have, what other subscriptions do I have? I pay for storage on my phone.
So the iCloud.
Yeah,
but that's like $3.
Mine is 10.
Maybe it is $10. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think I have 2 terabytes.
Oh, wait, I have that too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so then it is $10. But the first plan, that's the one I used to have. I think that one is like, 200 gigs or something?
Yeah, that one's less. It's definitely
like,
less.
Yeah. I just recently upgraded to the 2 terabyte one because I was told that my iCloud was full. So,
which is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm already paying for this. So,
I'm paying $10.
So, let's act like some point in the day I recorded content. So, I'm using that subscription. I have a subscription to upload this podcast out. I have a subscription to edit on everything for Adobe. And that includes Photoshop. That includes video editing. That includes After Effects, I think. No, Lightroom is the other one that I use.
Mm-hmm.
So, those are all subscriptions. That one is the one that kills me. I want $50 a month. I'm like, just to be able to edit. So that's why I also make sure I'm on top of this podcast because that's money. Everything is money.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, okay.
So there's that. Then, I went to the gym. My gym is.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
My gym is like $127
a month?
Yeah.
And
I also do Pilates where I have another subscription.
How much is that?
That one is so
girl.
Bad.
Oh my
bad.
God.
Yeah, that one.
Girl, my gym membership is $42, and I feel like that might be pushing it. The only reason why I'm still there is because where I work out at, they got bought by another place. So now the subscription is like
Oh, now you
60
get
or
the lifetime.
70.
Yeah.
But I'm grandfathered in. So now that I'm grandfathered in, it's like, oh no, I belong
My gym
here.
used to be a retro. So there are
Okay.
people at my gym paying retro prices.
25.
Yep. That
30.
shit kills me every
Girl,
time.
127.
Yeah.
Ma,
So
the way in 3 months you'll have equipment in that room right there and you'll just be doing squats and everything.
listen, it's tough. So there's that subscription.
Yo me imagino.
What else we got going on? Then there's skincare. Skincare is a whole other thing. That to me, that's just like it's a subscription without being a subscription, because when you run out, you are gonna
That's
get it
fair.
again.
That's
so,
fair.
Let's act like I did my skincare routine and was like, oh shit, I don't have any more of my fucking Centella pore minimizer. I don't have any more of my Youth to the People moisturizer.
Ooh. Oh.
I'm only name dropping because they're expensive.
She knows her skincare.
Like, they're not like little
Right.
rinky dink Dwayne Reed things,
Right.
you know? That's a Sephora trip where you will leave having spent $300 something. So
And she knew I would know those brands.
I know.
She knew I would know those brands because no shade, Youth
'Cause I
to the
wouldn't have
People
said if
is
you weren't
fab.
here.
Youth to the People is fab, honey. See, because if you're gonna spend money and splurge, baby, spend it on some Youth to the People, honey. What? I live for Youth to the
So-
People. That brand is so fab.
No, it is really
It's
good.
so good.
So that alone, and a lot of that, like I said, this was like my worst day,
Mm-hmm.
but I still do half of these things almost on a daily basis, which is
Girl.
crazy. So,
Damn, ma.
to give a little bit of an insight, I went into my Amex spending report,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna tell you what the percentage of my purchases are. So 45% of my purchases are merchandise and supplies. I don't know what that means. That could be
Such a
many
broad
things,
category, yeah.
but I know that in there is clothes, in there is, like I said, the skincare stuff I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a lot of Amazon purchases. I'm not gonna lie, with how easy it is to order things on Amazon,
Ma.
it's so easy. And the fact that you can have that cart sitting there and you just add things to the cart, and then, so the way that I do Amazon.
No, because literally that's what you're about to say. That's exactly how I do Amazon too.
Anything I want,
Tell
I
'em,
add it
girl.
to the cart.
Right.
And then there'll come a day where I really need something now. So then I add that to the cart. And then I go to the cart and I'm like, now's a good time to add some of these other things that are already in the cart onto the purchase. And then I
Right.
check out. And then it's like, this is another not weird, but like bad thing that I realize is pretty true. I almost always have a package on the way. Like there's
okay.
almost always something where I'm like, oh, when's that coming in? I'm like, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. But I blame my parents. I 100% blame my parents. And I hate to do the whole blame thing, but this is for real. Because with the way that they raised me was very
Yeah.
like, you point to it and it's yours. That has always been the way that, I've grown up anywhere, whether it be Disney or a deli. Like, if I want it, it's mine. So I'm not gonna deprive myself of that emotion, of
Right.
of that privilege.
Right.
Like, just because they're not with me doesn't mean they're alive. I mean physically with me. I don't like how that sounded.
Yeah.
But just because they're not, physically next to me doesn't mean that I can't just get what I want. So that's also, it's everything just kind of bounces off one another, because I also work as hard as I do to be able to do that.
Right.
But then it's like, girl, like, your wants is expensive and your parents are falling more and more back, because my siblings are getting older and they need things that are more expensive now, because now they're like all teenagers. So that's when
Yeah.
you start wanting like real shit. It's no longer toys and stuff. Like, they're growing. Yeah, I'm the adult sister. And I'm like, that kind of just,
Right.
like I was the baby for so long. So that's another weird thing I'm dealing with. But yeah, this one's embarrassing. 15% of the purchases are at restaurants.
Okay.
And I'm like, 15, that's still big. That's more than 10.
Does that include fast food, those kinds of?
I don't think so.
So restaurants is like you're going to Dique Nobu or Dique Ferragamo.
Yeah, because
God.
one thing is, okay, the
Wow,
reason
ma,
the
you go
reason
wow.
yeah, the reason I don't think that it includes Uber Eats is because 10% of my purchases, all my purchases are Uber Eats. Like, an entire 10% is Uber Eats.
Mom gagging.
Yeah. Crazy.
My Uber Eats spending has gone down, especially because now we have this thing right by my crib. It's called Guac Time. It's like Chipotle.
Oh my God, they're popping up everywhere
Yes,
now.
ma.
Yes.
Yes. We got a Guac Time and there's no shade, ma.
Is it good?
It's aight. No
It's good
shade.
enough
Let me give you
to-
my order. Let me give you my order right now. I'm going to go in there. Yes, let me get yellow rice. Let me get extra. Okay, let me get black beans. Let me get the veggies. You gotta get the honey chipotle chicken. The honey chipotle chicken is real cute. If they don't got the honey chipotle chicken, you got the jerk chicken. But the jerk chicken, she got a little kick to it. Like, girl, I'm not a really spicy loving kind of girl, but when I be eating that jerk chicken, after a couple bites, I'm like,
Sinuses is clear.
girl. But that honey chipotle chicken will get you every time. Then I get the queso because it's included for free. Yeah. And then I get both shredded cheeses because I'm a cheesy bitch. And let me get some corn, and that's it. That's all I need. Fab, ma. And, you know, they're still like a new business, I would say. So their portions are still generous.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah,
like
they
how
haven't
Chipotle
gotten
was.
greedy
Yeah,
yet.
they haven't gotten impacted yet, and they haven't had to like cut on portions or bowl sizes or any of that. So guac time, they close at 3 a.m. and girl, what?
Damn.
On a hungry night, because sometimes too, like I won't skip dinner per se, but like I just won't be hungry. And if it's like 10, 11, I don't want to eat a meal that's like 900 calories because it's like, girl, if I'm not hungry as is, let me save that 900 calories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, girl, I'm on a cut. So if I could save that, you know, I'm not skipping dinner because I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But then if I do get hungry at like 2:25 in the morning, at least I know, oh, girl, you got guac time right there.
Yeah.
Literally right down my block. 5-minute walk. I love that.
It'll do it to you.
And that helped with not having to Uber Eats as much because before they built that, I was getting from this pizzeria that would be open like what felt like 24 hours.
I feel like those are always the best when you have a spot that's like it's close by and like it's not a known place. It's just like the neighborhood spot.
Yes.
The prices are the same for fucking forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
No shade.
Okay, wait, and I got some more numbers that still shocked me.
Let's hear it.
8% of my purchases, like of all my purchases, go to Amazon.
Honestly, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know, man.
I'll be honest, that's not bad. But I'm gonna wait for you to finish and then I'll tell you why that's not bad.
Because these are in order though. So it's like the thing that I spend the most on ever is Uber Eats. The next thing I spend the most on is Amazon. So I feel like in relation to one another, I feel like that's crazy. And then right after that is Ubers. So the Uber, the business, is getting like 15% of my of all my purchases, which is insane.
Listen, money well spent.
And then after that is JetBlue at 6%. So that's just flights.
She's outside.
And right after that is my grocery store at 6%. So I'm like, okay, I should probably be spending more there and less at Uber Eats, but
think about it, right?
We'll get to that.
Groceries is 6%. Amazon purchases was what, 8%?
Yeah.
So think about what can go in Amazon purchases. Because I know, like, for me, in my instance, Amazon is where I get, like, everything for the home. So, like, the way I shop is, like, let's say I run out of a skincare product. The thing about me and skincare is that a lot of times I already have backup products just sitting there for me in rotation. So once I'm done with something, I'm opening up something new. So the skincare replenishment cycle isn't as frequent for me. Sometimes I can go 6 months without ordering new skincare because I'm just clearing through what I already have.
Yes.
But like let's say my Amazon purchases, they just start like that. I'll add a skincare product and then it'll be like, wait, I also don't have trash bags. Let me add that. Oh, wait, I need dryers.
Toothpaste and soap, yeah.
So for me, a lot of my Amazon purchases would be stuff like that. Detergent, toothpaste, toothbrushes, razors, gel for shaving, like literally stuff like that. And I feel like those are essentials.
Yeah.
Like you need that. Those aren't really like wants,
yeah,
those
that's
are
true.
needs.
Yeah, because it's like bed sheets.
Yeah,
it's like
it's stuff like you're gonna need that.
Yeah.
Peor si tú gastabas like 20% on Uber Eats, because then it's like, girl, all right.
Yeah.
I know you're hungry, but you're not that hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if your grocery spending is 6% and Amazon is 8%, depending on what the Amazon buying history looks like, 8% may not be that bad.
Yeah.
It's comparatively around the same.
See, you're girl mathing for me and it's working.
Right, no shade. No shade, because that really means if you wanted to, you could just spend a little bit more on Amazon, or if let's say you have a month where you don't spend as much on Amazon, girl, those savings, you could put that in the groceries. No shade.
What is the most delusional purchase you've made in your 20s that wasn't in your budget, that wasn't in your budget, but your heart just said yes?
All right. So y'all remember when like the Yeezys had first came out and it was such a trend to get you some Yeezys? Girl, I needed to get me some Yeezys. I needed to get me the Yeezys, the Wave Runner, the 700s. Girl, I needed it. I just needed it. I needed the one that got the gray with the blue and I just needed it. Every guy that I thought was cute had them on. And I was like, I need to have those sneakers too. And
Oh
I don't know
my
if it was just
God.
because of the market or like what was going on, but girl, I paid $490 for a pair of these Yeezys. And I'm gagging because I just got me a pair of 700s in the cream color. That was like $200. And it's
Oh.
like, yeah, maybe it's because Kanye's canceled now that everything just went down in price. But it's like, girl, for me to have bought that when I was like 21,
Yeah. At 21, that's a big purchase. Yeah.
Mind you, I only wore it less than 5 times since I bought it. Literally, it stays in its box all the time. Cause my whole thing is like if I'm going out, a lot of times I like to wear my 12s, my Jordan 12s. They're just so cozy. I don't care where I'm stepping at. They're just easy to clean. They're the ones that I've worn them so many times where like, let's say one day I just got them really fucked up. I wouldn't even be mad at it cause I literally got its use out of it. My Yeezys, girl, I've worn them less than 5. I have some shoes I've only worn one time and I've had them for like 5 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, horrible. Like I was in my credit card spending. It didn't matter. I was in that era where, yeah, if I wanted those shoes for a look, I'll buy them for the look. Like there's a pair of shoes that I have on my page where they're called Nike Sakai's and it's this concept of a shoe within a shoe. And they had one in purple that I really liked. And I was like, oh, that would go really well with these pants and a purple Nirvana shirt. And it's on my page and I've only worn it that one time. Cause outside of that, I was like, I would not be caught dead outside in these shoes.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, they're cute if you want to be an artsy kind of girl. But like for me, it was like, I cannot pull up around trade with all my Nike Sakai's. They're gonna be like, ew, what is that? Like, girl, can you even zip in that? Girl. So it's like, yeah, there's some shoes I bought where it was like, girl, you only wear them for a look and that's it.
For me, I don't think that my purchase was delusional, and maybe I'm still stuck in the delusion.
Okay.
But it was my desk. My desk is this big blue desk, and it's not all blue. The top is blue, and it has 2 pillars with like fluted wood things on it. One is lavender, and the other one's pink, and it's like handmade somewhere in the Netherlands. It was this couple.
Sold. I'm sold.
I saw it on Etsy because I really needed a desk, but every desk I saw was such like gamer boy desk vibes. And anything,
my desk.
Yeah.
My desk.
And anything that was cutesy and girly was like $4,000 and more. Like it was like anything that was giving kind of like MoMA-esque, kind of like Met Gala feel of a desk just was like not like it was enough for me to be like, all right, see, maybe I don't even need a desk, you know?
Okay.
So I was like searching, I was going through Pinterest boards, all this stuff, and then I found the people who made my desk. And it's a very simple desk, but what I've realized with furniture is like the simpler it is and the more it makes sense, the more expensive it is. Like you can get, you know, you could get a couch with cup holders and USB holes and everything, and it's gonna be at a decent price. If you want something simple and cute and a nice color, because God forbid you want something in lavender or orange or whatever, it's gonna be through the roof.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned about furniture while looking for this fucking desk. But I also like when it comes to productivity and stuff, I need my space. I need like this flat space in front of me to be able to have anything that has to do with work can be right in front of me on this desk, can fit on this desk because I didn't want one that was too small. So I found this one. I was like, okay, it's perfect. It's $1,200. But it was because, you know, they're shipping it from the Netherlands. Like, so the price of it, I think it was $1,100 and it was like an additional $100 for all like the extra fees and stuff.
Okay.
But I still believe it was that worth it. But the reason I'm labeling it delusional is because other people would label it delusional.
Okay.
But I think it is worth what it is, and it's very easy to disassemble. So when I leave my, you know, my space and I go to a new one, it's coming with me. That shit's not, you know, I'm not just trash. So I have faith in it serving its purpose.
Let's break it down.
Throughout my life.
You said handmade?
Yes.
Real wood?
Yes.
Fab.
Okay.
No shade. Honestly, 1,200. Girl, I'm sold. You could have told me, yeah, girl, this one-legged man in the Netherlands had made it for me. And honestly, he spent a week on it. And he grew the tree that he cut the wood from. Oh, baby, I'm sold, honey. You said 1,200? Oh, shoot, that's kind of cheap. Honestly, like I'm the kind of girl where I would splurge and pay for that.
Okay, cool.
Like when I first moved into my crib and I was looking for a mattress,
Mm-hmm.
all my life I've never had to buy a mattress because like my mom would just always
Yeah.
handle that for me. So when it came to buying a mattress, I'm like, wait, how do I buy a mattress?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I like? Like, what am I looking for? Whatever. So I was like, okay, boom. My mom, she got a memory foam. Let me just do that. Wait, hold on. Let me look up different memory foams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you weigh over 200 pounds and you're a man and you're 6'2", girl, don't get memory foams because in 6 months you're gonna dent it. All right. So boom, I can't do memory foam. What now? Now I'm looking at beds and the different compositions.
They got
Long
ones for
story
your
short,
posture. They got ones. They got so many.
Long story short, my mattress ended up being like $1,100 or $1,200. But I mean, it's crazy because I didn't even think that was an unnecessary purchase.
Oh.
Yeah, my mattress, honestly, ooh, I live for it though. It's so fab. Literally, like anybody that's come to my crib and has laid in my bed, they love my mattress. And, you know, it took me a long time to figure out which one it is that I wanted because, you know, I didn't want to go for like a Sealy's or like just one of those brands that we all recognize because from what I was seeing online, you get more bang for your buck from like a more mom and pop kind of company. So I came across this company called like Sleep Easy and I was looking up their beds and they make their bed using latex foam, which is a much more denser, firmer foam than memory foam. And it's much better for people that are like on the bigger, thicker, plus size, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, honestly, I was on their website. I called them up and I was just telling them like what I kind of like in a bed. I'm not a girl that likes a bed that's too soft or too firm. I need something that's like a medium firm.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a plus size girl. So it's like I want my bed to, you know, uplift me. I don't want to sink in my bed. Like lift me up. Like I need that in a bed. So yeah, when he told me how much it was and it was like $1,100 or $1,200 and I had the option to pay it with a firm, yeah, I was paying like $103 or something a month for 12 months. But literally, I would not have bought any other bed. Even now, if I were to get a new mattress because mine, for some reason, just I could not sleep on it no more, I would still get that mattress because it's worth it. Literally, anyone that sat or laid in my mattress, they always fall in love with it. They're always like, yo, this is so comfortable. Even like, you know, the trade, when they be over, they love my bed. They love to cuddle with me in my bed after. Because there's no shade. Like, girl, I'm going to be on this bed for when I'm sleeping, for when I'm just laying down, for just when I'm chilling. So it's like, you know, you want it to like, you know, be worth it. For that desk, I would have paid $1,200. You know what I mean?
See, I don't feel bad now.
When it's handmade and you know that it's not just like this mass produced, just, you know, it's a robot making it or like, you know, just automated, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And it's handmade and it's local and you know that you're supporting like a couple or like a small business or like a family business that's been handed down.
Yeah, they like my podcast posts all the time.
Yes, literally, like no, like the pandemic taught me the importance of helping small businesses, local businesses, the community, and like those mom and pop shop kind of companies. Even when they do get big, a lot of times it's just still like a mom and pop kind of vibe too.
Yeah.
So like for me, I just didn't think twice when it came to my mattress. And when it came in and I laid in it, I was just like, yeah, this could never have been a regrettable purchase.
Yeah.
Like it's about to be 5 years I've had her and she's still fab.
And
the edges are a little, you know, but
okay, but that's gonna
5
come
years
with that.
though,
Yeah.
and I'm a big girl. I look small on camera, but I'm a big girl. So it's one of those things where it's like, honestly, yeah, no, she stood the test of time.
So I think you already answered this with what you said, but I'm just gonna ask just in case. How do you decide what's worth splurging on and what's not?
All right. And I love that you asked me this too, because I got a couple of different, all right, so boom, right? If I'm paying with my PayPal credit, with the PayPal credit, I have the option. If it's $150 or more, I got 6 months to pay it off, no interest. So if I'm paying with that, I got a little bit more leeway because at least I know I got 6 months to pay it off. And then with me, I make payments to my credit cards every 2 weeks. So in actuality, I have 12 payments. I can break that one purchase down into 12 payments, and then that'll definitely make things a lot cheaper for me in the long run. So if I can use my PayPal credit, then my leeway is a little bit more, like my range is a little bit more wider. If they don't take PayPal and I got to pay with like a debit card, then I can use Chase Pay in 4. And now it's like, okay, I can split my purchase up into 4 payments, and now that's easier to stomach. If I got to do like a Klarna or like an Affirm plan and I'm paying interest on this, depending on what the interest rate is, if it's over 20%, How much interest is that? Because like, hold
Yeah.
on.
That's
Thankfully, my score is at a place now where a lot of times I get charged a comfortable 13.99%. And like, that's fair. That's cute. I'm not mad at that. But there was a point like when my credit wasn't where it should be at, my APR for like those kinds of payment plans would be like 26.99%. And it's like, girl,
sheesh.
I was never doing that. So like, depending on those factors, that'll have, you know, an effect on it. But and then if I gotta pay for it straight up, oh, forget about it. Hold on. How much is it? Because hold on. What do you mean it's gonna come out of my account right now when I open this app?
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't got it for that. So I think that's what the factor is. So like if I'm paying for something up front and it's a splurge, hopefully keep it under 150, please. Like if I can pay in 4, all right, boom. Try to keep it under like 250.
Yeah.
Like 250 range. If I could use my PayPal credit, oh girl, it's 1,000. That's fine.
See, so like this is one thing I've never done. Like I don't make it a habit almost ever to like pay for anything over time because I feel like I would do it too often and eventually they'll all like kind of lay over each other.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. So like,
they do.
what is
Trust
that
me.
like?
Oh,
like,
so honestly, it's one of those things where like I always have some type of money
Yeah.
in the checking account. So even if like it's that time to pay up, it'll just take it out and it's like fine. I don't think about
okay.
them. Like for me, it's one of those things where like as long as I have money in the account and they have somewhere to pull from, just let it
So it's
rip.
kind of almost like auto pay bills that you just kind of
It's
have.
just auto pay bills that kind of just happen. And now if I start to feel like, all right, why did I get like 5 payments like in 1 week? Like what is going on? That's when I'll sit down and be like, all right, let me see what all my payment plans are across Affirm or Klarna or whatever. Cause it's like, girl, it feels like every other week or every other day I'm getting
Cause see that kind of thing would keep me anxious. Cause it's like I need to always
know
have a
what you're
log in my
doing.
head. Yeah, all the time of like what money's gonna come out and when. Like for all my bills and stuff, I know the general time that they all like, you know, get paid. So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, that's fine. But I feel like if I had like a bunch, because I pay for so much so often, like I get so many things that I
Yes.
feel like if I did that often for all the things that I pay for, I would always be like in a hole of some sort.
That makes sense. That's
like,
fair.
I'm very much the type, and I think this like is something to note when it comes to like how you budget.
Yeah.
I go by like the number that I see in the app. Like if it says that that's how much money I have on my debit card and that's how much money I owe on my credit card, like that's it. That's all I need to know. So like for a random purchase to come in the next day, it'll fuck me up because I'm like, I wasn't thinking about that when I was thinking about my balance being this.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're getting into credit cards.
Yes. I live for credit cards.
So what's the main thing you would tell someone who doesn't even know where to start when it comes to understanding credit cards, credit, everything?
All right. So honestly, if you're new to credit and you really want to build your credit, a lot of times I know we want to get an unsecured card because, you know, everyone else has one. But guess what? A lot of times you're not going to get approved for an unsecured card. So if
Can you define what an unsecured card is for people who don't know?
So for the girlies that don't know, an unsecured card is like when I pull out, you know, like my Chase Freedom Unlimited card where, you know, Chase, they give you this credit without having any collateral. What does collateral mean? Well, if I get a credit card, some companies will require for you to put a down payment and that down payment gets put in a savings account somewhere in the system where that acts as collateral. And that same amount that you put down will become your credit limit. And that would be a secured card. So for instance, a lot of credit cards that people apply for and you don't have to pay or put any money to get the card, those are going to be unsecured cards. Now, keep in mind, some credit cards come with annual fees. That is a separate thing in itself. Some credit cards have annual fees, some don't. But for an unsecured card, an example would be like Capital One Saver, Wells Fargo, the Active Cash card, the Amex cards, Chase, like I said, Freedom Unlimited, the Capital One Quicksilvers. You've got the U.S. Bank Cash, U.S. Bank Gold, the Simply U.S. Bank credit card. Those are all examples of like unsecured credit cards. And then you have secured cards. Like for example, my first ever credit card that I got was from Capital One. It was a secured card. I did an application. Depending on what your income is and other factors, your down payment or your collateral that you have to pay will be either $49, $99, or $200. And regardless of the amount that you're paying, you'll start off with a $200 limit. Unless things have changed from when I was 18, I only had to pay $49 and they would give me a $200 credit limit. What I decided to pay was $200 instead. That extra $151 that I paid them got added to my credit limit. So instead of me having a limit of $200, I had a limit of $351. The reason why I did that is because it's important for your credit utilization to stay low. Ideally, it's advised for your utilization ratio to be under 30%. A lot of the girlies that have excellent credit scores, their utilization is usually under 10%. So if I have a credit card and my limit is $200, and let's say in 1 week I spend 100 of it, my utilization is 50%. Where it may not seem like, oh, it's only $100, who cares? But in a world where that's your whole limit and you're already using half of it, that does not look good on your credit report. So I wanted to start off with a higher limit so that it gave me more room to spend on a weekly basis, knowing that I could just pay it back.
Yeah.
So I would always recommend a secured credit card first. Literally a month after I got my secured credit card, I got an offer in the mail from Discover for the student credit card, and that one was unsecured. And now she's eating it. Because now she built herself some credit, and now everybody else, they want it. Because now you're fresh meat. In the credit card lending world, now you're fresh meat. So I got me that secured. A month later, Discover, oh yeah, we saw you're a student. Do you want the student Chrome cashback card? Yeah, I want that. And they gave me 6 months of no interest on my purchases, which is cute.
Yeah.
Then the month after that, Wells Fargo. Yeah, we got the college Visa card. Do you want it? Yeah, I want that. Great. 6 months of no interest on purchases. So when you start to build a credit history and you get it to that excellent or that great range, a lot of times credit card companies are going to send you offers in the mail and they will come with sign-on bonuses. Whether I've had, like in my early kitten days, girl, the bonuses would be like, oh, 6 months of no interest, or sometimes it'll be, if you spend this much in the first 90 days, you'll get this much in a cashback statement credit. But once you kind of mature and you get up there, the sign-on bonuses become 12 months of no interest, 15 months of no interest. I had one card, 21 months of no interest.
Yeah.
Like, girl, and you don't think about it, but when you just have a card that you can put things on and not worry about interest, that is already a financial cushion. So it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, the offers are just coming in the mail and I was just taking them. Obviously, wisely taking them, but still taking them. And yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that if I just hadn't started off with that secured card. And a lot of people don't want to get a secured card because for them, it's, well, why do I have to put money down? I don't want to have to do that. Well, sometimes if you want to gain trust in the eyes of a credit card lender or any kind of lender at all, you need to be able to give to be able to take.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any credit history, yeah, you're going to have to put that collateral down. But guess what? If you wanted to get a loan and let's say you wanted to use your house as collateral, you can do that. It's called the HELOC. So, you know, sometimes you have to put stuff up as collateral if you want to get access to funds or credit. You know what I mean?
And I think another thing too is that credit cards are just the epitome of like self-discipline. I feel like that's a big thing.
Yes.
Because when I first, you know, started with my credit card, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is easy because the first credit card that I had in my hand, because my mom had opened up some that she would hold, but just to have, you know, lines of credit under my name.
Yes.
But the first one that like was 100% mine, that like I was the one running it up, was my Amex. And like, it sounds like in the beginning, it sounds really simple. And I, like for the first, I want to say 2 years, like I had everything on lock where it was like, okay, I'm only spending as much as I'm getting paid. And then as soon as, you know, I get paid, I pay off the whole card, cool, back at zero, chill. And I just kept on. I'm like, all right, like, why do people complain about credit, blah, blah, blah. It's the one time you slip and you say, oh, I have a credit card. So you just buy something additional and then you're like, it's fine, because there's that cushion of that extra month between when you pay and when the next statement's due, that you're like, okay, well, technically I got a whole month. And then you start relying on that month.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like this is, I hate putting myself on the spot, but it's like, that's when you start putting up your card at the birthday dinners, because when everybody pays you, that's money that you're putting into that statement, into that current statement to pay it off entirely.
Yes.
No hold you down for another month.
Yo. No, because earlier when I said that, I didn't want to say that part right there. So I just told y'all, oh, it's for the cash back. It's for the cash back. But no shade. I love going out to a dinner and everybody sent me 400, 500
Yep.
total and I put that on my card. And now I don't got to worry about interest
Yep.
or anything for like
Yes.
2 months.
Is
Oh,
that
I
real?
live.
It
I
is that
live.
because I never understood. Because my dad, like, sometimes he would tell me this, and he'll be like, you know, just he would just talk to me about money in a way where I'm like, but it doesn't make sense because technically you still have to. He's like, trust me, like you just don't get it, and now I get it now when it comes to
my
credit
that little
cards
trick
and-
right
yeah,
there. That little
like-
trick eats it.
But
I love that.
all that to say, it all just has to do with discipline because
Yes.
it's about paying yourself back. Because when you have a credit card, you are Klarna, you are Affirm, you are all of that. Instead of paying, you know, the company whatever money, you just have to make sure you pay it back to yourself. I think that's the biggest thing, and people just there is no big bad guy. You are the big bad guy. You know, it's
Yes.
just you have to respect yourself enough, your bank account, your expenses, all that to just, you know, be an adult. And I think that's just the epitome of adulting. It's credit cards.
I agree.
Like,
I hate when I hear people say, oh, no, I don't want to get a credit card, or, oh, no, I don't like those credit cards because they'll get you with the fees, or they'll say something like, you know, all that money you spend, you know, you have to pay it back, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Like sometimes I'll get that from like the older generation. Like they'll be like, yeah, you know, the thing about credit cards is, you know, you got to pay all that money back.
No one was giving you free money.
And I was like, well, yeah, girl, what'd you think it was? Or you thought they was just giving you like just a check for what? Just for existing? Like, no, girl, you got to pay that back.
Yeah.
I had like one of my old managers from like one of my very first jobs that was under the books. He told me that. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the point.
Like, it was never supposed to be extra money.
Like, it was never extra money. Like, nobody is that kind.
And that's
No.
when like financial literacy plays a part, because it's like there are very specific people who say those specific things.
Yes.
And, you know, it's like you grow up in whatever neighborhood and you have all like the wrong people talking to you, people who've never had a credit card, people who know nothing about credit, people who know nothing about investing, people who haven't even like looked certain directions because they're just like, for what? It's useless because they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have, like I said, like I have that one friend who taught me about investing, and that's all it took for me to start. It's just, you just need the right people in your life, people in the right spaces, or just actually listening to people. Because at the same time, the people who, you know, said all that stuff to you, they listened to somebody who said the same shit. And
Yes.
so it's just being open-minded and all that is just being smart. That's all it is. Just being smart. So what percentage of someone's income would you say that they should save from their check every month, even if they can't keep up with it every time?
So honestly, if I had to give you a percentage, just so that numbers and math is easier, let's say, for example, a person is making 1,000 every 2 weeks, just to make calculations easy, I would probably try to aim for like saving at least 20 to 25% of that. Just because like let's say if someone is living on their own and like let's say your rent is like $1,600 and oh no, that's horrible. If your rent is $1,600 and you're only getting 1,000 every 2 weeks, girl,
Yeah.
you're barely living. Hold on. We're gonna have to rework that. But long story short, what I always advise people to do when it's their first time getting their own lease or whatever, every time you get paid, half of your rent, take it out of that check. Whatever you have left over, that's for you to play with. And that's for you to cover other expenses. So within that in mind, if I'm getting $1,000 and like, let's say for my case, right, my rent is like $1,150. So I would take out like what, $550, $600, somewhere around there. If I'm getting paid $1,000 and then I'm already taking out the 5 or 6 just for rent aside, and I'm left with only $400 left. In that circumstance, I would probably only put $100 into my savings. But if it's a different scenario where, like, let's say if I'm living with parents and I don't have to worry about rent, but I'm still getting that same $1,000 every 2 weeks, well, then in that case, I would probably want to put $300 aside. Because it's like if you don't have rent to pay or other big expenses and you're living with your parents, then in those circumstances, you should want to aim for a higher percentage of savings, like 30, 40, sometimes hell, even 50%. Like when I was living with my mom, I would sometimes put half of my whole paycheck in the savings because it's like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even using it. And, you know, like for me right now, I have roommates, but eventually, like when my lease is up, I'm going to just be on my own. So like my percentage for savings is going to go down because I'm going to have to stomach a lot more expenses on my own.
Yeah.
So That question, when I first saw it, I was thinking like, okay, that's going to be a circumstantial one just because it depends on how much your paychecks are looking like, what your rent payments are, what your other utilities look like. Do you live with family? Do you not live with family?
Mm-hmm.
But as a general guideline, I would say probably like 20%. 20,
Yeah.
25%. It's not bad. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I'm head cracking either. Because
Yeah,
I know
no.
we're in our 20s and we want to live and, go out and get fucked up. But it's like, I think 25% is fair.
Yeah, and I will say it's so important to take advantage of the time that you're still living at home and getting paid like real money.
No shade.
Because there was a world where I was saving $750 from every check. Not every month, every check.
Yes.
And I was on fucking cloud nine, and then I moved out and it turned into saving $750 every month. And even then, that sounds like a dream right now.
Girl, that is a dream. That's the American dream, honey.
Yeah, and right now it's just a matter of I need to pay off my card. I can't even think about putting anything to the side for savings. And that's where you don't want to be. And that's where I will soon be out of. But that is just to give you some context.
Yeah, I feel like with my recent debt consolidation onto my two cards, I'm getting myself out of that.
Yeah.
Because I was in that stage for quite some time where like months would go by and I wouldn't even think about putting money into my savings because it's like, no, you're going to get spent.
Yeah.
Either on a bill or paying off a credit card before the interest hits or just something along the lines of I got to pay an expense.
So what's something that you think people overspend on due to social pressure?
Girl, club alcohol. Oh my God. It is no shade. If I'm going out, I'm the kind of girl, I get me a margarita, a mojito, something gay. So if my margarita is 12, 13, sometimes I get me a cranberry vodka too. Hello. But if my drink is like $12, $13, $14, okay, that's acceptable. Once it starts becoming 24, 26, 28, and I know that at any other club, it would not be that much. Even like when I get the Patron margarita, and that's a little bit pricier, understandably, because it's Patron, okay, I'll pay 18 for that. But like when the Patron margarita is now 25, 26, 28, and I know it's just because we're in a club setting and you guys can just head crack because what else am I going to drink? That's when it's like, all right, enough.
It's even crazier when you see a bottle on that menu for $300.
Oh my God, girl. One of my besties, for his birthday last year, he wanted to get a section at a club and whatever. Were you invited to that?
No, I just know the situation.
Girl,
yes.
And he told me how much that shit was. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
A bottle of Jack Daniels, mind you, not even 1.5 liters. No, 750 milliliter was going for hundreds. I told him this is insane. 5 bottles for $2,500. And I'm like, wait a minute. $500 for this bottle of liquor that I can get at a liquor store for less than $100 is insane. And they're only doing it for the simple fact that when you go to a club, if you have a section, all eyes are on you. Who are they? Why do they have a section? Who do they know? What do they know? How much they got? What are they drinking? That alone is already getting
sparklers and some lights too. The fucking sign.
Literally, a little bucket that got ice in it and maybe like a Tropicana
and not
orange
even
juice.
enough juice. They don't be
not
enough juice.
Yeah, not enough juice. For the liquor you got, not enough juice. So now you got to pay more for juice.
Yep. Oh my God. Like being a girl, you don't know those prices for a long time. I only know them because I peeked over one time when my friend was paying for the table, and I was like, oh, that's how much bottles cost. Like, I didn't know. You hear it in songs. I'm like, what do you mean popping bottles? The bottles at the liquor store is like, it's not even that much money, whatever.
Girl.
And then I saw the numbers for the first time, and I was like, oh, that's none of my business.
Literally. And remember what I told you earlier about, if it's one of my good Judy's, one of my best friends in our house, I don't care how much it was. But girl, when he texted the group chat with that info, I was like, girl,
I'm gonna sit that one out.
I didn't know how else to say, girl, that's a lot of money without saying, girl, that's a lot of money. So the way I said it was, girl, they're taking advantage of you. A bottle of Jack Daniels does not go for that much, and I am angry with how much they are taking advantage of you, because that is not how much this alcohol or any of it should be. And mind you, he's telling me, no, Ma, like that's just the normal price for like clubs, like it's okay. No, they should not be allowed to take advantage of you the way they are. I don't like that. Cause girl, that shit, girl, $2,500 for a section, girl.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Gag me. And people would pay it for the simple fact that they know that for that one night in the club, all eyes on them.
Yeah.
Fuck with them.
But that's one thing. I've been there for so many first times of guys paying for the bottles.
Yes.
And I've seen the bill come to them. And because like they'll be my friends and I'll be like, you know how much a bottle costs, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, nah, you don't know because I know how much you spend on a regular basis and this is not, no.
Right.
And then, you know, they come all up in your face with the machine and they're like, here, like put the card in. And that's nothing because they get the girls with the fattest ass to come out with the freaking... whatever the thing is called, the square or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they start touching you and they're like, come on, like pay. Da-da-da. And I'm just like, you know what you're doing. It's
Yeah,
all messed
girl.
up.
Sex sells.
Oh, it does. Okay. And on to more serious things.
Okay.
What's the simplest way a 20-something-year-old can start investing without feeling overwhelmed?
All right. So honestly, when it came to me and getting into investing, it is definitely field or industry where you can easily get overwhelmed. If you're starting out, I recommend, does your job do a 401k? Do a 401k. That's an easy way for you to just start investing without having to really think too much about it because they're already doing the thinking for you. You're just getting money taken out of your check every 2 weeks and you're putting towards your retirement. I always tell people the S&P 500 is a good place to start. Essentially, it's that stock is kind of like an index fund of the top stocks performing in the market. So as soon as one is starting to decline, they swap it out for the other one that's in the top 500. So that's a way for you to be able to invest in something knowing that I'm not going to say that you're getting guaranteed returns, but the returns are pretty much
for as long as you're willing to hold the money there. Because the market will always go up. And I know you're not supposed to use definites for that, but I'm like, if you just keep looking over the years, 5 years from now, I feel like it's safe to say.
And it's hard to be able to look from that horizon when it's your first year investing like it was for me. But now, having been invested into the market for like maybe like 4 years now, I'm seeing that horizon where it was like regardless of what happened that month or that year, years later, I'm looking back at it like that was a smart decision. So for me, S&P 500 for, mind you, I'm not even invested in the S&P 500. But you did say you don't want to get overwhelmed. And that's what I'm going to tell someone that doesn't want to get overwhelmed. Personally, I'm mostly invested in MAG stocks. I think they're called like the MAG 7 stocks. And that's like where you're going to get your Teslas, your Apple, Microsoft. Most of my investments is in NVIDIA. Girl, I lucked out when they did that stock split. Oh, honey. I lucked out, honey. But yeah, no, I'd say that. Stay away from crypto. Granted, I will say crypto's very enticing just because you see people get rich off of it. But honestly, the volatility of crypto is not something that unless you're looking at your app multiple times a day, every single day, you might get got.
Yeah. But on the flip side of like seeing the horizon when it comes to like holding money in something for so long, like for me, it was more of thinking about what my money wasn't doing when I wasn't investing. Because I'm 25, so like I'm still young and I still got time for things to build up. But to know that I could have had money in there since I was 18, and it was a hefty amount of money since I was 18.
Oh, girl.
You know, like, and you can't go back in time and stuff, but it's like, you don't want that feeling. So, you know, and I'm someone who was very like, you know, and I think it's a stigma. It's the whole like the finance bros and blah, blah. Like, I don't want to be that person, or I don't want to be that one obsessed friend you have that's lost thousands and thousands. Like, you don't have to be that person.
Yeah.
And I know everyone always says invest, invest, invest. And I have officially become one of those people.
Yes.
But there are mild ways to do it. There are ways that you don't even have to look at the app for months and months and months. And
yes.
when you want to check, you could check and it'll likely be a good number, you know? Like, but what I will say, because this is what I did, go to YouTube University, just look up all the basic words in, you know, investments. Look up what an ETF is, what a mutual fund is, all those things. Just so that you have the peace of mind of knowing what you're putting your money into, because they use so many big words and it's not even that serious. It's not even that crazy. It's not even that confusing. Just, it's like taking a class. Just study it for like a night or two. Just put a playlist together, a bunch of videos or about like the best stocks to invest in, because you're going to get different opinions from different people.
Yes.
So then look at what the people you're watching are doing and what they're into. And if you align with their values and how they want to invest, then follow their advice. But everyone's going to say opposite things. So just, you know, discretion is advised.
Yeah. Have an open mind.
Yeah.
Definitely. But when in doubt, just look at some of the most successful companies in the market. And sometimes even that will give you a good idea. Like, a lot of times my portfolio hasn't really changed much except from just me putting more money in. But like, my portfolio really just consists of about 6 or 7 different companies. And then I have money in Bitcoin. And that's like my fuck you money. Like that's just money I'll throw in if I just have extra from a
Yeah.
sale or anything going on with my account, and I'll just get some extra money pop up. I'll just put it in there. Honestly, I feel the same way about if I had started investing at 18, I would have had things so much more different because like when I think about Bitcoin, for example, and how like when I was in high school that was going for probably, I don't even know how much it was going for when I was in high school, but I had classmates mention it to me and I never thought to take the first step in getting into investing and seeing it now on average at over $100,000. And it's just like, had I put a couple of dollars then, I would be 100,000aire.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It's like that's how people got rich. And it's like, hindsight is always 2020. And I wish at 18, I was kind of still in my finance mindset with getting the credit card, but I wasn't even beginning to think about investing or any of that. Like that was something else that it wouldn't come to me until I was like 21.
Yeah.
So it's like when I look back at it, it's like, damn, I wish I had gotten on this when I was 18 because then I really could have enjoyed the fruits of like my labor. But thankfully, well, not thankfully, but we had a pandemic happen.
Yeah.
And that kind of reset the market for like a lot of people. A lot of people saw their portfolio go down 40%, 50%. We saw issues with supply chain. It was like a cataclysmic event for the market. And for someone that was just starting out, it was the perfect opportunity for me to enter because I was entering into the market with some share prices that were just gonna be impossible to get. If not for a cataclysmic event like a pandemic.
Yeah.
So like I am grateful that I did enter during the pandemic because I was able to really get that nice boost to my portfolio now once the market corrected. And then on top of the market correcting itself, then when companies started making their money, it was like, oh, now you're really making money. I'm grateful for having entered during the pandemic, but I do regret not having entered when I was 18.
Yeah.
Because I would have put so much money into Bitcoin. I'd be rich already. I wouldn't even need a skincare company. I would just be rich.
Yeah. And I think it all comes down to understanding the value of money because I feel like when you're 18 and, you have your own like chum change from like whatever job you have and stuff, you're like, okay, I understand the value of money. But it's like, that $20 is no longer $20 anymore, but you don't realize how much 1,000 is. You don't realize how much 10,000 is. Cause at the same time, like if I put in the money that I had sitting in my savings account into what I'm invested in now when I was 18 and didn't add any more money, I would have just had an extra, I think I did the math the other day. I think it would have been an extra like 13,000 with nothing done to it. And I'm like, that's crazy. And that's all time that passed anyway. That's all time that it was sitting in my savings account, nothing happened. And I still have my job and I was still making whatever other money any other way I could.
Yep.
And that money was never getting touched. So if you happen to be, between the ages of 16 and 19 or whatever, listen to that, put some money in a good place, watch the YouTube videos, because you're looking at two people who regret the time wasted.
Yes, for sure. Granted, I'm so glad I entered during the pandemic. And when people ask me now, oh, like, what should I invest in? Like, is now a good time to enter? I always tell people, if you're already not in the market, then now is always going to be the best time to invest in because, like, what are you waiting for? There's no guarantee that there's going to be another pandemic or an earthquake or something that just, like, fucks shit up. And unless you're a congressman and you have access to insider trading details, you're never going to know when the right time is.
Yeah.
I do know some people that, like, they study the market so well that they can look at the volume of traffic going on and, like, spending and stuff like that. And that's a level that I haven't gotten to yet. I'm not that focused in the market. But in a general broad term, I try to check my Robinhood at least, like, once a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very laissez-faire when it comes to, because now that I have mostly stocks, I'm very laissez-faire. In the beginning, I had a lot more crypto going on. Like I had a lot more money in Bitcoin and Doge when that was a thing.
Yeah.
So once I got rid of that and I didn't have to check my account every day, I just don't.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the hopeful moving out young 20-something-year-olds and It's completely okay if you're not moved out in
it's
your early
okay.
20s.
It really is.
But if you happen to be, what are some of the hidden costs of moving out that people don't budget for?
Girl, that security
Oh
deposit?
my God, I had the same thing.
Girl! Oh my God, that security deposit. Mom. Okay, so boom. When I first got, when I moved out of my mom's, it was because I wanted independence. And it wasn't because it was like some crazy dramatic thing. It was more so just, I had already been planning in my head, like, I want to be independent. I want to have my own space. I don't want a curfew.
Yeah.
Like, why am I having a curfew if I work? And
Yeah.
I'm a grown woman. So it was one of those things where, like, it was an amicable move out for me. It wasn't even like a big drama
Yeah.
or like, you're not welcome back. Like, no, it was chill vibes for me. But I was just at that age, mind you, I'm 21. No, mind you, not even. I was 20 because I turned 21 later that year in October. I was just at that age where I just felt like, okay, I'm grown. I need to move out. I need to move out.
Yeah.
Yo me mantengo, like, worst comes to worst, baby, work the corner. Now I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was one of those things where it was like, nah, I was already in my head planning for it, and I had planned on moving out. From that time I did, already a year and a half in advance. Because I started working at 17 at Chipotle when I was a junior in high school. So I was already having money saved up, and I already had plans like, okay, by this age, by this time, I want to be moved out or be getting ready for it. So during that time, my monthly rent was only $900, which is not bad. But the security deposit was going to be a month and a half. So that $1,350, when I gave my landlord that $1,350, I did not stop thinking about that $1,350. And I still think about it to this day. Because
Yeah.
I know in my head that when it's time for me to go, I got that $1,350 there waiting for me. And then, of course, they're going to have to take out expenses or like wear and tear, which I hope she does not head crack, because the way she's raised the rent over the past years is really giving, oh, you're a head cracker kind of girl. You be head cracking boots. I just hope that she don't play with my security deposit, because if she do, I'm gonna have to bring out that business law side of me. Because baby, if you don't give me an itemized list of all the deductions within 30 days of me moving out, baby,
Yeah.
I'll see you in court. Well, I've watched enough People's Court with Judge Million. Give me an itemized list of all the deductions from my security deposit within 30 days. Because if not, baby, if we're in the right state, I'll see you in court and get doubled at my security deposit.
Yeah.
So I would say that. Also, broker's fees. Girl, I never had to pay for a broker's fee. Girl, do not give them your money. Do not pay for a broker's fee. That is head crack at its finest. Why am I get it why I'm paying for a broker's fee. I'm paying for the convenience of you looking for this for me and the connections and all that. But like, girl, no.
Yeah.
Like, girl, what are we doing?
Yeah. For me, it was also a security deposit. It was something that, like, I don't know, you hear about it, but I think that the logic wasn't there that it was going to equal a month's worth of rent. Because the thing is, like, when you move out, I'm sure, I mean, if you're smart, you have at least like your first 3 months worth of moving out money, like, in your account, because you're just, stuff is going to come up, but you want to be prepared. Cool. And then they take out 2 months because it's your first month in the security deposit. And it's like,
I'm broke.
so now I have nothing.
Yeah.
And also just like furniture, like the things that like are second nature in the home that you live in with your parents. Like you never thought about how much does a couch cost? You never thought about how much does a TV
let's
cost?
talk
Or in
about
your
it.
case, the mattress.
The mattress,
The bed frame. When you want a nice bed, not just like a metal frame with wheels, it's expensive. And you're like,
yes, girl, let's
oh.
talk about it. The mattress, I didn't know it was going to be that much. Granted, it's a hybrid mattress, so it has coils at the bottom and then the rubber foam at the top, so I get that. But honestly, the mattress was a little OD for me to be paying. My bed frame and like my set that I got from Bob's Outlet, yes, that's the outlet inside Bob's Furniture. Because baby, I was never getting anything from Bob's Furniture. I was getting it from Bob's Outlet. Because I was an outlet type of bitch. So I was able to qualify for their credit card because once again, you got that good credit from a young age that I already started building at 18. 2 years later, I'm moving out and I need furniture. And all of a sudden, I'm pre-approved for the Bob's Furniture gift card. Not gift card, credit card. And lo and behold, my purchase was enough for me to qualify for a year of financing. So lo and behold, from me having built my credit from age 18, I'm now in Bob's trying to get furniture for my apartment, well, not apartment, room. where now I don't have to worry about paying for all this furniture up front because I can pay it off over the course of a year. It's those little things where it's like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
glad I had those habits instilled. Same for my the mattress. I was able to qualify for an affirmed payment plan with no interest, and I was able to pay that off for over a year. So yeah, security deposit and furniture is definitely big ones.
So what's one thing you tell someone trying to choose between staying home to save versus moving out for independence?
All right. So honestly, if you're choosing to move out, I would ask you, how bad is the dynamic at home? Why are you moving out? Are you moving out because you just want independence, point blank, period? Or are you moving out because you have a curfew where it's starting to get a little ridiculous because you're working and you're making your own money, and it's like this shouldn't be a thing in place. If I can get home because I have work at 1 a.m., then I should be able to get home at 1 a.m. if I'm just going out to a birthday party. Or like if you find yourself constantly arguing with your parents, that would be a reason, because, sometimes you just moving out will already improve the relationship because you guys are giving each other space. So,
Yeah.
I would ask, what's the severity of wanting to move out? Is it just because you want general independence, or is it because, you know, your stuff is getting looked through, or you have insane curfews, or, you're constantly fighting, or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think especially when you get to that point where it's like you're still getting parented, but you're too old for that because like you're grown and you have a job and all that good stuff. It's like, it's the weirdest thing because I feel like you have to just kind of,
Eat it.
yeah, because it's the fact that whoever's house you're living under, or whoever's roof you're living under, whether it be your grandmother's, your mother's, your father's, whatever, you still have to follow their rules regardless, even if they're ridiculous.
Yes.
Because that was an issue for me with my grandmother. It was like, because we had this other lock on the door that you couldn't unlock from the outside. So if I was going to be out till a certain time, that lock couldn't get locked till I got home. And it was this whole thing of just like, oh, be home by this time, blah, 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 because I want to lock this door. So she wouldn't go to sleep because she didn't trust that I would lock that lock when I got home. And I'm just like, this could have all just been solved if you trusted that I would lock the door, but you don't trust me. So when I get home at 3:30 in the morning, you're going to yell, and then you're going to call my mother who doesn't live with us, but you're still going to do it just so that she just drills in a little more for me to come home sooner, because that's the only person I would listen to when it came to come home at a certain time. My grandmother always went by whatever my mom said. And my aunt was just kind of like neutral. She was very Switzerland with it all. So yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, if simple things get too complicated, I think that's a good way to put it. Then
Yes.
it's more than enough reason to head out. But what I will say though, enjoy the free meals as long as you can.
Yes.
Enjoy the, no rent, no light bill, nothing. Or at least even if you are paying rent, you're not paying the whole thing. So just enjoy whatever freedoms you have, because once you're out, you're out. Or at least if you're prideful like I am, once you're out, you're out.
Yeah, exactly. It was the same for me. I knew once I moved out, I wasn't coming back. And it wasn't even like,
no hate or anything.
it's not shade or hate or anything. It's just one of those things where it's like, my pride and ego would not let me be able to go back home, because if I go back home, that means I couldn't do it, or I couldn't survive.
It means
or
you did
it
all
was
that
too
for
hard.
what? Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, nah, bitch, never that.
Okay, so do you remember the first time you felt financially adult, and what was that moment?
Girl, when I got that lease, honey. When I got that lease and I had to send Miss Mama's my $1,350 security deposit and then $900 for rent, and I was like, damn, bitch, $2,250 in one cantazo like that is crazy. That's probably my adult moment for me.
Yeah, I remember I was so eager and so excited to like be an adult and be on my own that I read my whole lease word for word. And I didn't know that a lot of people didn't do that.
Oh,
like,
no.
I heard that people like they skim it, they just look at, the main stuff, or if there's anything that really concerns them, they look for that part.
Yeah,
I read
that's what I did.
the whole thing. And I was just like I know any reason that they would have to have me evicted, any reason that I have to fight that or whatever, everything. I was just like, I'm gonna read this whole thing, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it. I'm like, people don't read stuff like this. Like,
yeah,
I'm an adult. I'm responsible.
She was like, guys, look, water's included.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they let me pay rent until the 5th. Oh, shoot.
So that's that. And then as for like feeling adult, like really feeling adult, I think I think it was just like being in my own place and
Mm-hmm.
leaving my house when I wanted to and coming home when I wanted to. Like
Yes.
that is such
Yes.
a freeing feel. No one's asking you where you going.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's watching you get dressed and being like, oh, like I wonder what she's doing or if she's going on a date or whatever. Or if something happens where plans fall short, there's no one else to witness that. There's no one else who could see you getting ready and be like, oh, where your little friends at now? Because that's some shit I was dealing with. That if ever something happened and somebody flaked or something, like there would be times that I would get ready for something, a friend would flake, and I would still go outside to not face whatever shame and embarrassment that I would have at home with my grandma being like, oh, I thought you was gonna hang with your little friends. I guess they're not your friends. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm getting bullied? Like, this sucks. Like,
Honestly, I think there were times that my friends would flake, and if they did, I would just tell my mom, "Yeah,
how
I'm
nice.
staying home." And it wasn't even like a shade thing or anything, but it's the fact that you mentioned that event of your grandma having to be up to lock that specific door. I remember when I was first starting to arrive home past like, because a lot of times like my mom would wait for me to get home from work or like stuff like that, but eventually, Chipotle was closing an hour later, so sometimes I would get home at midnight or 1 a.m. or sometimes I would just go out for birthday stuff and I would get home at 1 or 2. I think I truly felt like an adult before the lease even thing happened. I think I started feeling like an adult when my mom stopped waiting up for me to get home. Because it used to be a thing where like she would tell me, I can't go to bed unless I know you're home.
Yep.
But I think it just one day she was just too tired and did not feel like waiting that she just went to bed. And I think because when I got home, I went to go to her room regardless because she was asleep. And I told her, hey, I'm here. I think after that, that's when she was like, I don't have to wait up on you. I can
Yeah.
just go to bed because at least I know that if you do get home, you'll motion to me that you're home or I'll just know because I can hear you.
Yeah.
So I would say that
Aw.
too. But like honestly, that rule of DK, I gotta lock that door and it gotta be me to lock it, that would have got me tight. That would have got me tight.
There were so many rules
Girl,
like that.
the way I would have been like, babe, go to bed. Because I'm not
No.
waiting up on you like you are for me, honey.
Yeah.
But God forbid you say that.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's just like you got to know when to, keep your mouth shut. Because there were so many things I've always wanted to say and didn't say because it was like, I live here. At the end of the day, you live there and you got to face them.
Fortunately for me, I inherited my mom's filter, so I don't have one.
Got it.
So my mom, she's that one woman that if she has a smart comment or something to say or she feels a type of way, she'll say it. And then from my dad, I get my sarcasm and my lack of respect for people. Cause yeah, it's the perfect mix. Cause like my dad will be the ultimate troll. He likes to troll. And it's funny because he'll say like some pretty funny shit that you'll be like, damn, that was kind of funny. And then my mom, she's just the kind of person where very outspoken, blunt, to the point, very direct. There's no sugarcoating or anything. She doesn't like the sugarcoating stuff. So I think them two coming together and then producing me was like the best combination.
Yeah.
Because bitches don't give a fuck, don't fear people, and are always gonna say what they gotta say, which is kind of.
So then, last and certainly not least, what piece of financial advice should people take more seriously? And personally, I would say too.
Honestly, it is never too late to start, whether it's an emergency fund, whether it's a savings account, whether it's your 401k, whether it's your stock portfolio. Like for me, I didn't start my 401k until I was like 22. And I felt so dumb because I was like, wait a minute, I've been working at Chipotle 5 years and I never thought to open a 401k from there. And it was just like, bro, that was 5 years of and company employee matching that I missed out on. And I was like, yo, I really missed out on thousands of dollars. And, I guess because I missed out on it, that discouraged me from wanting to get it because it was like, well, no, I won't have that money, so I'm never going to do a 401k. But then it was like, wait, hold on, let me just do it just in case.
Yeah.
And now that I have a 401k and I can look at it and it's got like almost 10 grand in it, I'm like, okay, that was cute. Like, yeah, I was kind of bitter that I never thought of this when I was at Chipotle and I was there for so long, but I'm glad I got this taken care of early on at the job that I work at, because it's kind of like, that's money that's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And literally half of it was from you and the other half was just from your company. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's dope.
Cool. And then as for me, only thing that I've got to say is just to learn whatever, what's the word? You gotta form habits. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Because money is a lot more than just like numbers and getting paid and paying off bills or whatever. It's investing, it's credit cards, it's financial responsibility, it's just self-discipline, it's all those things. So I think that if you want to get good with your money, your finances and all that, I think it's also a matter of building your character and your habits and all that, because eventually it'll flow into everything else. And you guys know I say this about the gym all the time, how it's like I go to the gym, the discipline is there, and then that just flows into everything else some way, somehow. So it's just make a good, with discipline. I'm like trying to conjugate verbs here and shit. And I'm like, I don't even know if that's a word. Point is, make good choices. Make
good disciplinary actions.
See, I was gonna say disciplinary, but I'm like, I don't know if that's the right word.
I got you, Ma. Disciplinary actions. Make them.
There we go.
No shade.
But I think that is officially all from us. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys for having me. Oh my God, I've known about this podcast for months, and now that I'm finally here, it's like, yeah, East Coast Princess just doing her thing.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Give us 5 stars if your listening platform allows you to do so. And I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.